Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, a big show coming your way tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the long weekend on what many people reported was a tough weekend of fishing. Must have been the full moon, I think. I was lucky enough to land a kingfish in the rip late yesterday. I'm going to show you how the best way is to eat kingfish tonight, right here in the studio for the boys. Also tonight we talk big cod, all the details of fish stockings over the past 2 weeks, plus all the regular segments. As always, please welcome Adam Ring. Adam, you've been up in Sydney for a few days. Did you wet a line up there?
I have. No, I was up there for a short trip to celebrate a very close mate's wedding, so there was probably a little bit more partying than thinking about fishing.
Doing anything like that.
But it was great. No, it was good to get away, and it was a great day. So yeah, we come back to the real world now.
Yeah,
very good.
Fishing a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah.
And missing in action last week, Trelly is back from the Chinese fishing trade show. He made it back alive. Welcome, Trelly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, big show over there and some interesting things to bring to the board.
Yeah. Was there one particular highlight you could mention, or was it just a whole lot of stuff? And we'll talk about it through the show.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No,
was there one highlight though?
I think there was a couple of little things. Too many. Yeah. Sorry, I can't really mention them. Yeah, but yeah.
Ads, I know you're away for the weekend, but you're back Monday. Yep. Tough reports.
Yeah, tough reports. I think it was a bit of a crazy thing. We had full moon, which generally slows things down a little bit.
Yeah, on most species.
Yeah, on most species.
Full moon was Saturday,
The weather report was kind of, you're not sure if it was going to be good, bad or different.
They got it wrong.
Exactly. It ended up being completely opposite to what they said, so I think that would have kept a lot of people off the water.
Yeah.
And for those that did get out, the fishing was pretty tough. So, bit of a tough weekend, but I guess that's how fishing goes.
We would have done 60 kilometres, I reckon, on the water, chasing whiting on Sunday. And I've got to say, I went to Rosebud first. I've never seen so many leather jackets in my life. It is just plagued with leather jackets. So we just gave up, absolutely gave up. We went out to the Pinnis Channel out near Mud Island. Got a couple of whiting early. And then they just went off the bottom. What's going on? I tried a bit of burl. Leather jackets everywhere again. And I went over the other side, over near St Leonard's, and leather jackets everywhere over there as well. I mean, we got a handful of whiting, but
so the leather,
I did some kilometres.
The leatheries don't want the full moon.
No.
That's
right. No, either that or they're just in plague proportions.
They don't eat them, or they weren't size, or they were leather jackets. You don't.
Oh, they're probably 20 to 25 centimetres, just pesky size, big enough to swallow your bait in one foul swoop.
Bite a few hooks off.
And be hard to get off the hooks because they're locked jaw and
both eyes on one side.
It wasn't real good. So, but surprise, I was actually going to have yesterday just as a nice relaxing day down on the peninsula. A mate of mine rings me up and says, "Hey, change of tides about 6 o'clock in the heads. Why don't we go down and have a go at the Kingfish?" And remarkably, there was not one other boat there. Not one.
This blows me away because it's been a phenomenal kingy season.
Yeah.
It didn't start till now last year.
Yeah.
Yet a long weekend. Granted, the forecast would have kept a few people off the water, but even so, the rip to yourself on a public holiday with kingfish being caught, unbelievable.
Anyway, I was pretty pumped to land a kingy, and it wasn't a monster. Like, it was about 68 centimetres. The good thing for you boys is it's just getting to room temperature now, which is the way I love it. We're going to actually have it sashimi on the table here. Very shortly, I'm going to show you my favourite sauces and all that sort of stuff.
This might be my favourite show of the season, I reckon, Chuck.
Yeah.
Cooking, that's one thing.
It's pretty good.
Or not cooking.
Now, don't forget, you can keep up to date with all the show details on our Facebook page. Catch of the Week, hotspots, all our info will be available on Facebook from tomorrow morning. Don't forget to like us. To make sure you get to the right page, just go to our website at talkingfishing.com.au and click on the links to Facebook and Twitter, and you can join in the conversation tonight by sending your questions and comments on Twitter using the hashtag on your screen now. So there you go if you want to join it. Boys, time to check what's been caught by the people at home. Let's have a look at some of the catches of the week.
Catch of the Week, where you get to see yourself on TV. Brought to you by Shimano.
And not everyone didn't catch whiting on the weekend. Phil Andis got a cracker, 44.5 centimetres out from the old, reliable middle spit. You've got to be pretty happy with that.
44 and a half.
I'll be happy with that.
That's a whiting and a half.
Now, I know Paul and Christy follow me on Saturday and come out and we did a bit of fishing out at Mud Island. Paul then backed it up yesterday all day out on Western Port with his father-in-law Greg and young Jetty and the family. And I know they had a hard day. I think they got 9, but tough fishing.
Yeah.
But they did get some better fish certainly over in Western Port than the size on Port Phillip. So plenty around. Number 2, Blair Gowrie. Look at the calamari coming from Blair Gowrie. This is John Henwood and a classic good size calamari.
That is.
And I know a bit about that one because I was next to him taking the photo. But well done, John. A cracker of a fish, and we actually ate that on Saturday night. It was a beauty.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Love them. Love them fresh. Can't beat them.
Big jigs?
Size 3. Yeah, there was a bit of wind. There was a bit of wind blowing all weekend. Like knowing the peninsula, like when it's northerly, it's pretty rough. Yeah. When it's southerly, you get more than 100 metres off land, and you just get blown. It might still be really calm because it doesn't whip up the sea, but it just blows you. It's such a fast drift rate. So 3s and 3.5s you got to, and just try and get them down into the zone. So Jacob Memory is number 3 catch of the week with a nice little pinky snapper. You got to be happy with that, young fellow.
Don't forget about the pinkies. What was that? Rill.
Yeah, over at Rill.
There you go.
Nice little pinky.
There would have been a few people down the island, I reckon.
Nice hat.
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Over the weekend.
Yeah. You just saw the queue on Friday getting out the front of the shop at Cranbourne.
Yeah.
The traffic going down to Phillip Island, South Gippsland High was just incredible. And probably heading up north and Maroondah Highway, I know, was pretty packed.
We had the same thing down on Peninsula Link on the way down to the Peninsula too, which you got to expect come long weekends.
Yeah.
Even up in Shep, you just see the boats and just go through and all come back.
Yeah. Next one. Another nice calamari, this time out of Western Port. Excuse me, Quail Bank, the capital in Western Port. Kerry Meathers got a nice 1.3 kilos that one went. So
that's a good calamari.
Yeah.
It is a nice one.
Old Kerry Meathers. I know Gavin was in the shop today, and I just said, getting a bit out fished by the wife and the kids lately.
Yeah, Tom Meathers, they're showing you up.
There you go. Next one, let's have a look at some nice snapper caught by Jack, Max and Fletch at the Corals in Western Port.
This is interesting.
Yeah. It's a nice snapper around.
Fish there. This is really interesting because we've spoken about it in previous weeks and we've seen the reports of them out deep on the peninsula. That's really interesting because the Coral's in very deep water.
No.
That's a great report.
Perhaps starting to cool a little bit.
Yeah, that's a great report.
Good reports of big snapper.
Yeah.
In the sort of mid depth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just the last week, it's been
there you go.
Love that.
No one's been really sort of targeting it, obviously.
No.
The rock band, they were too.
And lucky last for the week of catches of the week, Kay Christie got a nice gummy shark down at Port Albert. I used to actually work with Kay at Blue Scope still many years ago.
There you go.
There you go. Nice fish, nice shark, Kay. And I'm sure we'll get more photos this week.
Yeah.
Because of the full moon on the weekend. Not a lot of people have sent their photos through and that. But I'm just tipping next week there might be a few gummies in the.
I'm tipping. I think there's another snap to come up. I reckon, Adam. I'm tipping there's another snap.
Whoa, here
another
we go.
picture this week. All these photos are coming. It's going to come on the screen right
another
now.
PB. Look at that.
Look at this. David Kramer, calamari, 50 milligrams or grams?
Yeah. Good on you, boys. Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah, that'd be a new PB, wouldn't it, Dave?
Someone has been hacking my Facebook page, I think.
Put him in your pocket and take him out?
Mate, I couldn't believe catching that. I actually thought I had a little bit of seaweed on the line. You guys have done well to sneak that in. Very, very good. But it was like it fitted in the palm of your hand, you know. And anyway.
You didn't just slide him down, did you? Like whole?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
No?
Aren't they amazing, though, that they'll still... The squid jig that would have eaten would have almost been bigger than that.
Oh, yeah.
Calamari.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're just ferocious little creatures.
He might have been trying to make love to it. So.
Who knows? Yeah. You weren't using a squid-coloured squid jig, were you?
Oh, no, I wasn't. If you'd like to send in a pic of your catch of the week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing picture info at ifish.com.au.
And, well, I guess coming up on Talking Fishing, product of the week, and I'm going to serve up the boys some sashimi kingfish right after this.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Many people don't know what's available, I guess, for young kids, and even down to the infants.
Yeah, exactly.
People don't know that there's inflatables for kids.
Yep.
Which are a much more comfortable life jacket to wear for a kid that's got to wear a life jacket all day long. So, let's have a look at. Start at the earliest ages of life, and this one here, Ads.
Well, a lot more people these days are enjoying boating, whether it be fishing or just a day out on the water, and kids are getting into it younger and younger. I mean, that's a tiny life jacket. It's
five to. Yeah. So I guess the other thing to explain to people is that life jackets for kids are rated on their weight.
Yes,
so
definitely.
not their size or their age or anything like that.
No,
it's totally on their weight. So that one there's a 5 to 10 kilos.
Yep,
so
5
a very,
to 10 kilos.
very small infant.
That's right. And now all the straps on all of these jackets, not just this one here, they're all completely adjustable, so you can be nice and snug. They've also got little harnesses underneath, because there'd be nothing worse than an accident happening and they go over and the life jacket floats and
so a child of
little
6 months,
Johnny goes
6 months or a year is easily going to be safe. Their head's going to be kept above water.
I was saying that's a nice big back piece there, keeps the head up. They do need to be snug for that reason. That they can be dangerous if they don't fit right, because it can actually pull the child under. As they get caught, the body wants to sink, but the jacket wants to float. So nice and snug. They're all adjustable. 5 to 10 kilos. So that's the smallest one you can get these days. They then move up into this one right there, Trelly, in the next weight rating of 10 to 15 kilos. So that's your, I guess, moving into toddler type stage, I guess.
Again, very safe with those. It's got the twin straps at the front.
Yeah, that's right. Twin straps. It's still got the strap to go between the
two
legs
straps
and really
between the
hold
legs.
them in.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
You'll find the neck piece and the head piece is not as vicious as the small one. Kids are a little bit older, they can control their head a little bit better. They've got whistles, all the same features as what the adult jackets do, just in a more compact type of a arrangement. They then move up the next size, 15 to 25 kilos, Trelly, and again, everything just gets bigger. Bigger in the chest, bigger in the body. 2 straps again, just so that they're nice and snug. You find now there's a single strap that goes between the legs, not 2 leg harnesses.
The beauty of this one too, I guess they all have, but that handle that you're holding onto the top there, Trelly. So if a child does go
that's
over
what a dog can go and retrieve it.
I knew you'd have an answer for that.
You got to retrieve. That's how they grab them.
Good retrieval strap that one.
So you're right. If they go over, you can get them back in the boat.
Yeah, pretty quickly. So.
Now,
and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with these, because there's not. They're a good lifesaver, and children must wear them.
Exactly.
But a kid wearing one of those all day long,
it's uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. Drives them nuts.
Especially, well, let's face it, they're going to be on the boat in summer more often than not.
Yeah.
They get quite warm. These are new. These are the first that I've seen for quite a while. That is a children's inflatable jacket.
Yep.
Now the reason
that matches your shirt, Trelly.
There we go.
Hey.
And that's the girls' jacket.
We'll see your shirt in a minute.
The reason we probably haven't seen as many of these as what we'd think is because there was always the argument that a child young enough to go over not going to have the state of mind. They'll be panicking to pull the cord.
Yeah.
These are automatic inflate.
Yep. So they have a little water detector?
They do. They can be changed. I don't know if the camera will be able to show you, but I'll open this one up. Just underneath the canister there. I don't know.
Yeah,
there we go.
See
that piece there.
That's the water activator.
That's the water activator. Yep. So as water leaks into that through those holes, it hits a certain level and automatically inflates the jacket.
Yep.
The jacket does come with a cap. If you want to change that, take it off, put the cap on, which comes in the packet with the jacket.
That's now a manual.
Now it becomes a manual inflate.
There you go.
So all it is just that little piece. That's the only thing that makes it automatic. So great for, I guess, young kids that maybe aren't as experienced in the boat or around the water. If they do go leave the automatic inflation on, if they go over and that gets wet, the jacket,
and they're safe
and they're ready to go. But if they're experienced, but they're maybe a smaller
You're modelling
child,
that well, Charlie. It's the little neck
behind
the neck, a little bit of rubber there.
The little neoprene, which does what we're saying is they're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
I mean, those with the little neoprene around the top there, you can wear those all day.
And there's a boys one too, Ads. The boys
one
colour,
too. Exactly the same thing in blue.
Yep.
It still has the little crutch type supporting arrangement.
Yep.
Thing.
Rated 25 to 40 kilos, so
Yep.
getting up in age there too for kids. So,
Yeah,
and just
exactly.
the best thing, I'll tell you what.
These are going to be huge because now
Yeah.
those big things with before though they do save lives. They are uncomfortable, and for those, I guess, well, they're almost young adults by the time
Well, that's right.
they get there. They can still wear something as comfortable as mum and dad and still be just as safe.
Yeah. Now, all of these jackets, I would say, well, certainly the inflatables are well under the $70 mark. So they're not a real, like they're not $200 or anything like that. So even people that are going away, and their friends got a boat, going away for Easter or something like that, it's affordable to keep your kids safe and comfortable.
Yep, it is.
And I think the day will come, well, we've seen in adult ones, you just don't sell adult foam ones anymore because the inflatables are so cheap. So I think the move will come to kids now that the more comfortable ones.
The trouble is it happens so quick with kids in water.
It does.
I've seen kids and they don't struggle. We actually experienced a young boy, a friend, and he was in the Murray River.
Yep.
Walked off the edge of the sandbar.
Yeah.
And he basically put his hands up like that and just disappeared.
Really?
And we were standing there talking like this. And, there he is. We just sort of grabbed him.
Yeah.
And just so quick.
Split
But he
second,
didn't even struggle or anything. I couldn't
Shock
believe
kicks in,
couldn't believe how fast it can happen.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So there you go. Life
you go.
jackets getting better and
Part of the
better every
week.
day.
Yep, absolutely. Now, boys, as promised, there's nothing better than catching a yellowtail kingfish. Look at you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Like you haven't just hoed down a pizza or anything like that.
No.
That's right.
But boys, a nice yellowtail kingfish, there's nothing better than having it raw. And I just thought I'd bring in some of my favourite sauces. Now, before I make the sauce, just the yellowtail kingfish. The best part of the kingfish is that shoulder behind the head, the nice thick, and there's actually a different texture to a lot of the fish, and you won't be able to see it on camera, I don't think, too well, but it's just in this top of the shoulder here. And you can see it in there, so the top of the shoulder. And all I'm doing is I'm cutting, and I've cut up a fair bit, but you're just cutting that slice very, very thin like that, and just getting a lovely piece of meat like that. There, bring that down a little bit. That's sensational. Now, with your sauce, I don't know where I learnt this, but you'll see some kingfish. I think you saw a photo of the kingfish just before. There it is. So that was caught.
Before and after, there we go, look at that.
26 hours ago.
Yeah, right.
27 hours ago. Like I said, it's not a monster, but geez, I absolutely love it. So all I do, doesn't matter what brand you use, black bean sauce. So I'll whack a bit of black bean sauce there, or just a little bit, comes out of the bottle really quick. And then a bit of plum. So nothing fancy about this.
Oh, you're a mixer, are you?
Yeah.
You mix
So
them.
plum and black bean, that's all you do.
Better go and get the rest of the fish.
Don't worry, it's cryovac and in the fridge for Thursday night. Got some nice friends and family coming over. So just mix that plum and black bean, boys. Get into that. That is absolutely
get a bit on the shirt.
sensational. Yeah, see if you can spill it down your shirt, Charlie. That look good.
Mary, you're watching this, aren't you? It always goes to messy.
Now, if anyone could see outside the studio here, we have a little control room with about 6 guys in. They're all licking the window at the moment. They're all going, give me some. Isn't that sensational? Yellowtail kingfish raw.
It is one of the.
Actually, I think I put too much sauce on it.
It is one of those fish which is as good raw as it is cooked. And don't get me wrong, cooked kingfish is beautiful.
Yeah. Now, you don't have to have it with the sauce. You can just eat it. People like that wasabi
Lemon,
and all that sort of stuff.
lemon
a bit of
or
spice
soy.
to it, but to me, it's one of the best sashimis that you can have. Southern bluefin tuna is obviously nice, and that, but it's quite a red.
Yeah, that's right.
It's surprising me. I mean, you've got to bleed your kingfish straight away. So he was bled within 10 seconds of getting on the boat, straight in the tank. And it just makes the flesh so much whiter, and you look at the colour of that. I mean, that's when you catch a kingfish, if you have, you'll know that they're just full of blood. They're a very bloody fish.
Yep.
Obviously, I've cut the bloodlines out, but the meat is just white and absolutely sensational.
So,
another bit.
so
range.
Is that something, Dave, that you would leave in the fridge for an hour or a couple of hours, or
Look, when you catch the kingfish, you've got to get it cold straight away. So get that meat cold. The kingfish, I guess, the further north you catch them, the mushier the meat gets. So to catch a Victorian king is fantastic.
Yeah.
But you've got to get that cold. If you've got ice in your kill tank, that's the best thing. But keep it cold. Once you fillet it, get those fillets cold, and I leave it cold. So I actually cryovac that last night just to keep every bit of juice in it. I always cryovac my kingfish because it's just one of those meats that is just sensational. And I got it out. I sliced it while it was cold, and then you let it get to room temperature.
Okay.
So like sit behind the couch for an hour.
Yeah.
That's what we did. There's nothing more to it. You know, we
So you do it on the boat? Just cut one up on the boat?
Oh yeah, I like to get them cold first. Just
Firms the flesh up a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, look at that, Trelly. I mean, this is still, that's still from the fridge.
Yeah, that's
But
fine.
have a look, and a sharp knife. That's that's less than a millimetre thick.
Yeah.
If you do that with a raw fish that you catch straight on the boat, it'll be a bit mushy, and you won't get that nice straight cut. So I'll just eat that bit, Trelly, because it's in the way now. And we'll just pig out on this during this whole break.
Yeah,
I reckon.
so excuse us.
Go an ad break now, probably.
But to me, there's nothing better than raw yellowtail kingfish, and I would probably only leave that for. Oh, you might get 3 days. You might get to 3 days, without having to freeze your fish, but you'll never once it's frozen, you can't sashimi.
No, but generally for sashimi, if you're eating that within the next 24 hours,
And for Victorian waters, I mean, that's obviously what that is. What other fish can you do this to in Victorian waters we're catching here locally?
Oh, certainly southern bluefin tuna. I mean, people at home might do it. People do it with slimy mackerel.
Yep.
People do it with snapper.
Snapper, snapper I've seen.
So I've heard people do it with calamari that they eat. I've never tried it myself.
Yeah, and I think with if you're going to do it with snapper, it's got to be those, kind of just legal to maybe.
I'll just eat while you talk, by the way.
Because I think to eat sashimi, the flesh needs to be firm.
Yep.
If it's, you get those bigger snapper and the fillets, they start, even the back straps up.
So this has got to room temperature now. I wouldn't say it's firm now, but it was certainly firm when I'm cutting it.
Yeah.
Because it's been in the fridge.
Yeah.
But that melts in your mouth. I mean, there's no chewing needed.
No.
It just absolutely melts in your mouth, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can push it to bits with your
Anyway, I
tongue.
think we're just going to rave about kingfish all night. Well, we
I
are.
will until that's gone.
I love celebrating it. Trelly, freshwater species. Is there anything that?
Not much sashimi.
No, so we'll see a redfin springs to mind. We're talking about firm flesh and things like that. Is it? I guess.
I think I've got a bone.
I left a bit of that bit just for you.
Have you heard of people try? I mean, I've never tried it.
really.
I've never heard of anyone trying it, but
Not really, like we've done up north with Queenies and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why you can't. If you cut anything sort of thin enough and it's fresh enough like that, and if you like the taste, I think any fish could be done. But certainly, probably redfin would probably be the pick of them.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice white flesh.
Yep.
Although a smaller cod, is quite white fish and quite fish.
But you never tried it.
I probably haven't. Probably can't remember.
Yeah, well, the
and it would have been a chunk like that.
We're probably with tomato sauce in a bread roll or something. Up next, fisheries news and plenty more to talk about on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now it's time for the news. The Fisheries news. Sounds a bit fishy to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, we're back on, boys. Just holding in. The crew out the back have demolished that plate, and there's a tiny little bit left, so we've got to make the most of it, boys.
Even Richie Minnow.
Nothing goes to waste.
Even Richie Minnow.
Like he didn't have hook in it.
Isn't that ironic?
Richie the Cannibal Minnow. Unbelievable, boys. Fisheries news. I think we got up next. I hope I'm right.
What's what we're going into?
Australian Fishing Trade Association, Trelly, you're on the board there, Protecting Australia's Fishing Future, put out a media release just recently that they, after national and state representatives met with Fisheries Minister Jala Pulford last week to discuss the government's policies on wreck fishing. They're encouraged with the progress already made, and obviously, we've spoken a fair bit about some of the things that they have already ticked off, particularly Tolondo and things like that, and they're getting there with a couple of other little promises. They actually expressed their view, and Trelly, you were at that meeting, so we might ask you a little bit about it. You want to see that netting removed from the bay as soon as possible and prefer not to stretch it out the 8 years.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We look at the whole situation, and if we could bring that one forward, would be a huge advantage to recreational fishing in numbers.
I think one of the good things, and I saw this media release come through and thought, worth a mention, because AFTA played a very, very big role in advocating for anglers regarding getting netting out of the bays. If you look at, there was a great group of people, the Friends of Corio Bay Action Group, were probably the instigators, if anything, for. A lot of people have been talking about it for years, but this particular push, came from down Corio Bay. People are just sick of it down there, and it was great. I mean, AFTA have got a platform for national campaigns.
That's right.
Very good political ties, and
we stood with all the guys down there. So and we represent. AFTA represents the shops and the anglers. And a lot of the shops got together, even though we're competitors, we get together on these type of things.
Reading on a little bit more, it's clear the government recognises the broad-ranging benefits of rec fishing, and they want 1 million rec fishers in Victoria by 2020. In addition, their plans to establish a statutory authority to manage Victorian fisheries will ensure genuine and unprecedented representation for Victoria's rec fishing community, including rec anglers, the fishing tackle sector and the boating sector. And I think that's important too, Trelly, because I don't know that all those sectors have ever come together to be a unified group, and certainly under the statutory authority, I think that's one of the main goals, is to have better representation of anglers, more unified, and actually have one-stop shop.
Well, I think the message then will fall on the ears directly responsible for what's going on, rather than falling on ears and it gets passed on to the hierarchy of the department. So you can actually sit at the table and have a direct impact with what's happening, which is a really good thing.
Yep. Alrighty. Next bit of fisheries news. Fisheries Victoria has done some stocking over the last fortnight. In fact, 208,000 native fish to improve freshwater fishing opportunities for anglers. The Murray cod were released into Kangaroo Lake, 20,000. Gunbow Creek, 20,809. I wonder if they actually count the 809. I'm just reading what it says. 20,809.
I lost one on the way.
Yeah. Lake Buffalo, 13,690. Broken River, below Lake Nillakuti to, how am I going to say this? Gowangardy Weir, 12,700.
Done well.
Lake Boga, 5,000, and 3 fish into a little drain on the side of the road. I'm going to ask Mark Ainsworth during the week, because he sent this to me. 20,809. That's remarkable. And golden perch were released into Broken River, 46,600. Trelly, Leonakuri Reservoir. Do you know that one?
No.
25,000 golden perch into there.
Golden perch in there.
Lake Buffalo, 22,160. Lake Hume, 22,285. And Lake Eildon, 20,430. I mean, Lake Eildon's building, isn't it? A great golden perch fishery. The Eildon Pondage also received 1,850 advanced size rainbow trout, which averaged 260 grams each. That's great. I mean, we've just had the Labour long weekend, but you've got all those fresh fish in there, 1,850. And they'll see right through to Easter and beyond. There's some great fishing, and I love the way Fisheries Victoria do that around some key dates.
Yeah, exactly.
Like long weekends, Easter, that sort of stuff.
And they plan it really well, so the fish that do go in that are catchable have time to settle, get their bearings, but still be up and about.
Yeah, that pondage below the wall at Eildon's a fantastic place to fish, and it's easy. It's really good banks for kids,
and you catch good fish.
Absolutely,
they're not just little small yearlings or anything like that. So stocking is funded by rec fishing licence fees and the state government. So well done, big congratulations, because I reckon the stocking program is just second to none
and
now.
It's getting better and better too.
And it's working. We're seeing the results all the time.
Definitely.
Boys, Trelly, I should talk about it, and if we don't get enough time, we'll talk about it after the break. But you've been up catching some big cod before you went to China. Whereabouts were you?
Yeah, we were up near Wentworth, and we caught some nice cod, actually. The places that we fished were quite slow-moving water.
Yeah.
And I noticed we used electric motors to keep it quiet.
Yep.
And we targeted areas that were sort of a long distance from the boat.
Yep.
So you look at a spot and you say, I'm going to fish that spot. Don't motor up to it and fish it.
Yep.
Cast from a long way away and work it like that. The same guys that we fished with won't fish certain parts of certain rivers this time of year because the water's a bit warm.
Yeah.
So it reduces the chance of losing fish, and they're very, very conscious of it up that way.
Yeah.
And the photos and things.
So a few meteries.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, really, really good. Yeah. So again, spinner baits.
Yep.
Let them sink all the way to the bottom.
Yep.
Long cast, pull them through structure. You're going to lose a bit of gear.
Yep.
But that's fine. You got to fish.
If the reward is metre plus Murray cod, you've got to be pretty happy with that. So
absolutely, really, really good. Yeah. Pretty exciting stuff.
Good stuff. Up next, Kramer's Mailbag and plenty more on Talking Fishing. See you after this.
Talking fishing. Talking fishing, talking fishing. Nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
And now it's time for Kramer's Mailbag, brought to you by Southeastern Speedliner.
And a little bit of Kramer's Mailbag through this week. And Trelly, we didn't put the photo up of your cod, so we'll come back to that very, very shortly as well. First bit of Kramer's Mailbag comes from Craig. I don't think he's got his surname here. On Sunday, 8th of March 2015, which was only the other day, was a tough day on the water in our kayaks and boats for members of the Sandringham Anglers Club. Sunday of the Labor Day long weekend was the club's third whiting competition, which was held on Port Phillip Bay. Members fished from Altona around to Carrum. The conditions were picture perfect, warm, 23 degrees, slightly cloudy, and a 6 to 8 knot breeze. The going was hard with only a handful of whiting being caught and weighed. The winner was Craig Waller. Second prize, Andre Vidovic, and third was Robert Caldor. And I think there's the crew on your screen there. So well done, boys. Good to see the angling clubs out and about doing their comps. And
8th of March, the best day of the year.
Was that your birthday?
It was.
Happy birthday, Ads. What are you, 26?
30.
No way, the big 3-0.
30.
Here we are having sashimi. We should have had a birthday cake.
That's right.
That's heaps good enough.
Well done, mate. Well done.
We can always line up the sashimi.
Yeah, that's better than any birthday
There's one more
cake.
bit left. You can have it, mate. Just seen you 30. Jeez. I didn't realise you were double his age, Trelly.
Well, I didn't either.
Kramer's Mailbag continues. Hi guys, we are a small fishing club called the Barring Hup Cancurran Native Fishing Club. Just about out of breath saying all
abbreviation for that.
NF something. That's in its second year. We thought you might like this photo from our fishing competition on Saturday the 7th of March. This yellow belly was caught in the Cancurran Reservoir, weighing in at 5.5 kilos or 12.5 pounds, whatever you want to do, and 62 centimetres long. Caught by Mark Brumby. A lot of our members watched your show. Thanks. Tracy Talmadge, the secretary of the Barring Hup Cancurran Native Fishing Club.
It's a yellow belly and a half.
That's a cracker,
Well
isn't it?
done.
Yeah.
That is a nice fish. You'd be happy with that, eh?
Oh, yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, I do hear there's a lot of yellow and redfin in Cancurran. It's a good little lake to fish. Yeah.
Let's see if we can get the slide up now of your cod, Trelly. Too.
Oh, yeah,
It was
you
a
better,
cracker of a
because
fish. And
otherwise people won't.
they won't believe it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Meet a cod, Trelly.
Told us that, didn't he?
Yeah. And there you go, Trelly. We can't get it.
That's all.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
That's superimposed, that face.
Yeah,
on
well,
that body.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What did that fish go?
A bit over a metre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice, isn't it?
That's awesome, isn't it?
Oh, an old mate lure.
Old mate?
Yeah, old mate. Yeah, so...
Stop it.
Way to go.
And yeah, you can see the water there. It's sort of slow moving in the background, so
Is it green?
you get plenty of time to... It is a little bit green, yeah. There's a little bit of green algae on some of the beds.
How far north of Wentworth were you?
About 4,048 mile.
Where is there flowing water in that part of Australia? Where's it coming from and where's it going to?
Not much. Well, it runs in at Mildura.
Or is it just the Earth's on a slope?
Yeah.
It runs into the Murray in Mildura, does it? And where does it come from?
It comes right up through from Queensland, actually.
Yeah.
So
you can say you don't know if you want to.
No, Wilcannia, Borona, up that way. So basically from the middle of Queensland, but the Darling starts. So there's cod pretty much all the way up it.
Yeah. China fish. Let's get back onto that. You're over in China fish with a few of the Tackle World executives.
Yes.
Looking at product.
Yeah, just trying to seek new product. Anything that's going to come out new. One of the things we do...
Oh, just before you go on, I forgot to mention, if you'd like to write to me or these blokes, this is what you have to do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Sorry, Trelly, just got to get that little plug in there so people still write to us.
Bit of housekeeping. So, yeah. But one of the things we do is we actually meet with some of our suppliers over there, and you'd be surprised at how much product on tackle shops' walls come from similar suppliers over there. Yeah. So it really is a point where we can make contact with the guys who make the lures and have some tick boxes as far as quality control. So we really do get to determine the product right from the start, right through to our wall, and that's what makes us all a little bit different with our tackle shops. If we choosing product, choosing the right thing, putting the right hardware on them, the final product that ends up on the end of fishing rods and reels, we can control, which is a fantastic thing for us.
Would you say the quality out of China has got better over the years?
It's definitely improved. Yeah, it's definitely improved. I mean, there's still a lot you've got to wade through, and there's a lot of traps. But some of the quality there is certainly right up there with some of the best. You'd almost sort of call them Japanese, as far as looking at the actual product,
the quality of them.
Yes, for sure.
And so I mean, there must be a massive market, or I guess a massive manufacturing market in China. How many people go to that show? How many stalls are there? Can you paint that picture?
Oh, I think it's roughly probably 500 stalls. Yeah. And I think there's roughly 700 or 800 people go to the actual show. Yep. So from various parts of the world. There's quite a contingent of people actually turn up there.
And is it do you have to be part of a retail group to go?
Yeah, it's a trade only.
Yeah. So it's a bit like the AFTA show up on the Gold Coast every year in about August. You really got to be a part of the trade to attend that. And
okay. But look, nice place to visit. But oh golly, the air, like as far as pollution goes, here in Australia,
got it good.
We have got it so good. I mean, the air over there, you can see it, you can breathe it. Yeah. So that's the only downside of sort of going to China. Some of the conditions. Yeah. So
whereabouts in China?
We're in Beijing. Yeah. 20 million people in Beijing. Yep. So you can imagine. Yeah.
So can you give us an example of a couple of products that you saw that you just go, they're heading to our shore very, very shortly?
There was a couple of ice jigs which I found which are very, very realistic to a small minnow, which work as far as our redfin fishing goes over here. Yeah, okay. Are going to be crackers. Yep. Some new little vibes. And a lot of little minnows and things that have probably been done a bit, but you can control the colours and you can move with the times. If something we can replicate things that are in our own native waters that small fish that bigger fish eat, and we can do that. Yeah, so it's very, very exciting.
Yeah, there you go.
It sounds like a very interesting event. It'd be daunting. I reckon just seeing how much. Yeah, to wade through something that. Appeals to you, that can relate to the marketplace.
There is a lot of product there, but really when you go through it all, there's a small amount which relates to freshwater, very, very small amount. A lot of it's saltwater, a lot of it's worldwide market, so a lot of it doesn't really apply to us.
And Trelly, obviously Australia is a big importer of Chinese fishing manufactured products.
Yes.
Is there representation from the whole of the world at that show? I mean, are the Bass Pro guys coming over to look at stuff?
No, it's just
is Europe looking
Chinese.
at it?
Yeah, pretty much all Chinese product at the China show.
No, but I'm saying the people that are attending on a buying perspective. So you're an Aussie representing Tackle World. Yeah. Are the people from America going? Are the people from Europe going to buy from China?
Absolutely, yeah. They've been there for years and years.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm going to change the subject, boys, and probably back on the eating. Do you know what I had for dinner last night? You're going to laugh.
Sashimi.
Oh, you're going to laugh.
Calamari.
Probably a steak.
Port Jackson.
What?
Port Jackson shark.
Ah.
Well, the Friday before last, we were sitting around camp down at Blairgowrie, and Lorenzo, a lovely 83-year-old gentleman, he can make anything taste magnificent. And I know Paul Worsling was having a good old chat to Lorenzo this night, and I thought, he might have had a drop or two. And anyway, they got talking about what's his favourite fish to cook, and one of them in his top 5 was Port Jackson. Anyway, I landed a cracker of a male. It was a big fish, and I thought, Lorenzo. Got his name written all over it. Actually held up.
He's talked it up.
I was beside Paul, and he said, "What did you just land?" I said, "A Lorenzo fish," and I held it up. But while we're out kingfishing, by the time I got back, and I was going to cry back my kingfish and all that, he'd cooked up this most magnificent. I could, I guess, call it a stew. He'd cut the Port Jackson into steaks that still had the cartilage through the centre, and it was absolutely to die for. Never had it before. It had stewed for a few hours, I reckon. It was moist. It just broke away from the cartilage, and it was just sensational.
You're actually making it sound good, isn't he?
Now you're going to look at me different for the rest of the night.
Sell it to me.
6 bottles of red wine will make it.
Coming up, this week's hotspots and what's coming up on C31 Fishing. Be back shortly on Talking Fishing.
talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Hello, Richie Minnow here. It's now time for this week's Fishing Hotspots on Talking Fishing. Marvellous.
I don't know if I can look at Richie Minnow seriously anymore.
Yeah, not after eating
He
sashimi.
just ate sashimi. We should have got a photo of that and had Richie put it up on Richie's Facebook page, shouldn't we?
Yeah, well, you better watch yourself, Richie. There's some plum and black bean sauce here. It's got your name
I'm
all
tipping the
over
next
it.
time Richie Minnow goes for a swim, the Kingfish might be eyeing him off for a payback.
Poor
Better watch
Jackson
out there.
Richie.
Oh, dear. Actually, we should challenge Lorenzo. What did you say? A banjo shark recipe.
Yeah.
Lorenzo, I know you'll be watching.
That's my request, banjo.
Banjo shark for Adam. He wants a nice dish brought in here on Talking Fishing. Might even get Lorenzo in on this. I reckon
definitely.
He'd be a character
He'd
on
be
the
awesome.
couch, I tell you.
I mean, bring in the worst fish we can find.
Make it good.
Lorenzo to cook it.
Carp, yeah, Murray River salmon.
Oh,
The old mud marlin.
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo,
challenge is
you're
out.
on.
Yeah, there you go. On your Lorenzo. We should talk about hotspots, boys.
yeah.
Number 1, the Pinnis Channel. I fished there on Sunday. Forgetting what day it is now because it's a long weekend. Pinnis Channel, great little channel for whiting, right down the northern end. There's some weed beds. Now, there would have been about 25 boats there on Sunday. A lot of the guys there commented, we got there on the start of the run-in. A lot of the guys said they fished it on the run-out and it fished a lot better. Okay. Now, I never finish it. I never fish it on the run-out. Only ever fish the run-in.
Because that's one of your go-to whiting spots on the
Absolutely,
peninsula.
all year round.
Is it a big area? Like you said, 25 boats on it. Is that...
Couple of sizes of the MCG, I guess.
Oh, okay, so it's big
size.
enough.
And there's sort of 2 distinct areas. One is in 3.5 to 4.5, and then there's a drop off down to 6
nice.
and 7.
Yep.
And you can find fish. Sometimes you got to move. Sometimes they're in the deep. Sometimes they're in the shallow. There's no two ways about it. You know, it can be different every day. The other thing is I like getting there on the low tide because you can see the weed beds a lot better. Set your boat in the right spot. Yep. It does get a little bit mixed up because you've got kilometres of sand from Mud Island that just gets pushed through that area. So it does get quite cloudy at times.
Yep.
So, but anyway, no, all good. Number 2, it's got to be the rip. And if
There's
you can,
still kingies in the rip.
there's still kingies in the rip. You want to have a look at this plate on the table in front of us. It's been devoured. There is no kingfish left on it.
There is still kings in the rip.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like I said, no one there on Monday. I didn't go down there Sunday, but there's still kingies in the rip. Plenty of good fishing. They'll be there for another 2 months.
The most promising part about the king you got in the rip, you got it on a vertical jig.
Yep.
Which means
320 grams to be
which
precise.
means if you
Heavy.
were jigging, you would have had to have got the fish in the first 3 drops because there's no way you'd be jigging more than that.
I'm sore today. My hernia is not well. My arms aren't well. No, I reckon a good 30 minutes into the session, and we worked hard, and I actually got that fish 15 metres off the bottom, I reckon. So we were in about 40 metres of water, and it was at least 15 metres off the bottom when he hit.
Did you sound fish, or did you just set up a drift and you were
Yeah, we've just got some GPS marks. That's where everybody goes. I guess it's no secret anymore. So anyway, better keep moving on. Sandringham is a great spot for King George whiting at the moment too, and we saw actually a few of the club members that had been fishing around there earlier on. Whatever their club was, I can't quite remember now, but some good King George whiting around there too for people that are a bit closer to Melbourne.
And you'll catch the King George whiting off the breakwall.
Some of the breakwalls there
too, because you can see quite easily the weed and the sand. So you go and put a mussel or a pippy or a little bit of squid or whiting worm in one of those holes, and you'd be surprised.
Changing the tide or up tide?
I think it's like all whiting fishing, as long as there is some sort of moving water. You're winning.
Yeah, and even on those sort of cloudy days, dull days, and that, it's probably your better ones. So they move in a bit closer. Okay. And late in the afternoon or light, they'll move in a lot closer. So number 4, Stony Point. Again, another great place for King George whiting, and I think we'll see in the next couple of weeks some big fish come out of those areas. I know about 2 years ago we fished Stony Point, a bit of a 3AW do, Paul and I, and got some very nice fish in there, just tucked in, not far from the ramp.
It's quite interesting how we see big fish start to get caught right on the back end of their seasons. It happens with the snapper, it happens with the whiting. You tend to get these big fish hang around a little bit longer than some of those school fish.
Happens with Murray cod too, actually.
It's quite an interesting cycle.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Number 5, Warneet Channel. It's a classic, that place. Such a great place when it's blowing. just launch at Warnoot, mosey on down the channel, not quite even out the entrance. You can sit on the side there very, very easily and catch some nice King George whiting.
Yeah, white. And what, an elephant?
Yeah.
I think we covered it last
week.
I think,
it was,
so elephant's up there as well, so something a little bit different.
Yeah. And lucky last, Anderson's Inlet down at Inverloch. I know it's busy down there, but it is fishing sensationally.
Yep, whiting, Australian salmon, there's estuary perch, there's, I think gummies get caught down towards the entrance. You get little school gummies come through there.
Yeah,
great place, Anderson's Inlet.
There you go. So there's the hotspots, and as we mentioned, all those hotspots go up onto our Facebook page tomorrow morning. You can check them out, and if you're sitting in the boat or whatever on the weekend, just look on our Facebook page. It's all there. All right, coming up on C31 tonight after us, Catch and Cook at 9:30, 10 o'clock Savage Seas Adventures. Wednesday morning you can wake up at 6:30 in the morning to Ozfish TV, and then 6:30 in the morning on Thursday AFN, and then us. We're repeated twice now, Thursday mornings and Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock, 7 a.m. on Thursday. So if you want to have a look at it and you missed tonight's program, there you go. And what an extravaganza on a Saturday now.
Huge.
You know, we start at 9 o'clock, right through until 1 p.m. is fishing straight. Like, there's nothing else you need to do except sit on the couch and watch fishing.
And then it backs up, it gives you a toilet break, and then you can back up on Saturday night.
Go back to bed and back it up on Saturday night and just enjoy and really have a great fun with the missus watching fishing on the couch. So there you go. But boys, a lot of people, now they can say, oh, well, I missed Tuesday night. You know, can watch watch the replay sort of thing and still catch up with all the weekly stuff that we give. And if it's blowing a gale Saturday morning, keep back on the couch 9 o'clock and watch Talking Fishing. Boys, boat ramp fees are getting a bit of a herring again.
They always seem to be going up.
Yeah, and what is it? Why are we paying? Up Shepparton Way, Trelly, is there anywhere where you have to pay to go and launch your boat?
No. Nowhere.
Do you have paid parking in the main street of Shepparton?
Yes.
You do?
But a lot of towns don't.
No.
Yeah, so... but
How long have you had paid parking?
I'm not too sure, but like we'd come down here to go fishing and go, what do you got to pay to put your boat in? What's on this place? Huh?
You've got to pay to do everything.
So, like the first time I'm down here fishing, to pay to put your boat in be like really a bit of a stun,
Yeah. And I would say Martha Cove is probably the most expensive place to launch.
How much is it theirs?
Oh, it'd be 15, easy.
Yeah.
It might even be 16 or 17. And daylight hours only.
Yeah, and they're starting to
daylight hours only.
Yeah. So if you want to go out fishing at 5 in the morning, you've got to wait for the sun to come up.
Why is that? Well, you're waking up the neighbours with their lattes or something.
There's no neighbours within Cooey, but
so like a residential estate
residential,
type
privately run, like God knows.
And they're starting to change the way. It's no longer go and put your coins in a machine. I think now at Mornington, don't quote me on it, Mornington, possibly Hastings, you can't buy a ticket there. You've got to pre-buy it on the internet.
No way.
Or buy a season pass.
That's because there's too much super glue being poured in the coin slots.
The Hastings ones end up at the end of the floating pontoon more often than not. But it's getting to a point.
Isn't that a message though to the authorities that people are sick and tired of paying, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, if we had gold-plated boat ramps where they did all the maintenance and everything was good. You go down the Mornington Peninsula, some of those places, Anthony's Nose, Tyrone, they're little ramps, they're just covered in sand and not maintained very well at all. You go to Sorrento boat ramp, now the Kingfish thing's really taken off, the boats are parked for kilometres along the sides of the streets. So it's getting
harder. It's getting harder and it's getting more expensive. Even if there was, it's easy to say whether it can be done. Who knows? But even adding, I'd gladly pay an extra $2 or $3 on top of my fishing licence per year to mean I can launch wherever I want and not have to pay.
Well, probably the way to do it would be through your boat rego. Perhaps, collect it through there and then go into maintaining ramps. But what you need is one authority to be controlling boat ramps everywhere in Victoria.
So they can
the majority
of
the ones, even if you sit in CBD, Melbourne CBD, because if you get up to Shepparton and that's a little bit different. But all those ones around the bays, Western Port and Port Phillip Bay, if they all come under one authority, there was some money, through your rego that went back into maintaining them.
Yeah, that's it. Which then they can spread through the ramps that need it the most.
You really want to know where your money goes now. Not putting money
yeah.
on top of what you do.
Trelly?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm putting it in the Jala
The Jala pile.
Everyone
The
asks Jala.
Be
That's
busy
it.
next time.
Next to the Kingfish.
That's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, this show is repeated now on Thursday and Saturday mornings. Make sure you tell your friends. Next week's show will be pre-recorded, so please don't write to us if yellowfin tuna is caught in the bay and we don't mention it. That's next week. Until next Tuesday evening, stay safe on the water and enjoy your fishing.
We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing.